For the course of Dead by Daylight's entire lifetime, we've basically only had one game mode. I guess you could count a tutorial if you wanted to, but that's not anything real anyone plays. So we have the same old game mode where we repair 5 generators, avoid the killer, slam the pallets and all that. Okay, let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. And yeah, it's the same old thing, and but with the exception of like different killers, different perks that you use, perks that the killer uses, add-ons, items. But I think Dead by Daylight needs a new game mode. I think a lot of people can agree on this. Uh, for some reason, the devs are really lacking on it, and I think it has to do with like just the way the game is made. It has a lot of spaghetti code. If you know what that is, then you might be good at programming or just writing code in general. Uh, but anyways, yeah, a new game mode. Some people have suggested something that involves no perks, basically a no perks mode. I've been thinking about it, about like a hardcore mode, so it kind of takes the no perks mode a step further. So how this hardcore mode would work, or maybe you can call it nightmare mode, is that the game, like any location that the map is on, it's always nighttime, and also it's way darker than it usually is, because for some reason Dead by Daylight maps are kind of bright if you think about it. Like even when it's nighttime, you can still see stuff clearly, and that's no good. That's no good. um, yeah, so if it's more darker and it's hard to see things, I would assume the survivors would have to have like a built-in flashlight kind of thing, similar to how like Cheryl has that flashlight on her shirt pocket. And yeah, that's one change so far, or two changes, but we're not done yet. We're not done yet, people. That's not all. Basically, you can use no perks in this mode, no perks at all, and also you can bring no items, not even an offering. Maybe an offering. I'm not sure about that, but I would assume that offerings are excluded as well if we're going to exclude everything else. As for killers, the same would apply to them. No perks, no offerings, no add-ons to their power. So it kind of balances out with the survivors. And and like I said, I guess it would be less dark for the killer, because if they can't see anything, they can't really hunt for the survivor. Like, and I assume they all have like some kind of night vision anyways, at least to an extent, because they're powered by the entity, kind of. If that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Oh well, I don't care. uh, no, I try to care. I try to care. I tried my best. Not really. And since it's dark, and we want it to be, you know, not realistic, but something like that. It's meant to be scary as well, and it's going to be hard to detect the survivors and the killer from both sides. So what I was thinking is that the killer no longer has terror radius. They no longer have the heartbeat that shows up, or that you hear when they get close. So no terror radius, no heartbeat, and also no no red stain that's in front of them. And I know these mechanics like help the survivors identify where the killer is, but I really think that this hardcore mode should really be, I guess, realistic, if that's the right word. or bare bones. Yeah, I think that's the right word, bare bones. Like no features to help either side. As for the killer, there would be no scratch marks from the survivors, and maybe when the survivor is like running, they leave behind like this small, trail of footsteps that's bright, like the scratch marks are. But I think that would be about it. And I think maybe there might be balancing issues with this. So I guess the survivors would maybe get an audio cue of some kind whenever the killer is close. So now that I think about it, maybe the terror radius does deserve to stay. Or maybe it's just a single sound, not like music or a heartbeat that plays. It's just a single sound cue when the killer is close. And yeah, as you can see in this gameplay here, it's not good. It's not really good at all. I lose miserably. But that is not the topic at hand. Okay, that is not the topic at hand. We're talking about I'm proposing a hardcore mode for Dead by Daylight, basically. Yeah. So, yeah, the only items that survivors can get is chests that you find throughout the map already. And yeah, some people argue that items are overpowered. They've been nerfed, at least medkits and toolboxes and stuff. I don't really know what else to say about that. Um, so yeah, and of course killers don't have their add-ons, so their power is like really basic, just the normal state. Um, this might cause trouble with the killer because some killers are weak and really depend on add-ons. And I got a lucky grab here, look at that. But, I mean, I'm not a developer, and if they even go with this kind of idea, they can always make exceptions for things. And, yeah, I guess that's about it. As I mentioned before, it'll be really dark for the survivors, like, to where you can barely see anything. So, there would be like a built-in flashlight for every survivor. And, that will also cause the killer to see their flashlights, and the killer will be attracted to them. The killer will be, lured over. So I guess that'll be like one risk of using the flashlight. And during chases, it might be hard to see your surroundings, so that's going to be a problem for the survivors and also the killer as well. So yeah, this idea is not perfect, but I really think we're in need of another game mode. And I think just having a game mode where you can't use any perks is just not enough. I think you need to have some other gimmick. And I just saw a comment in the past about commenting on how dark a certain map was, and I saw a comment or a reply suggesting that if they remove the red stain from the killer and make it darker, like the map's darker, it'll be better. Like just better gameplay, I guess. And I really agree with that because, I don't know, I think it just has to do with immersion. Adding certain things like the terror radius and the red stain, just, it reminds you that, their game mechanics. And I guess that's something that's heavy on Dead by Daylight. You get like aura readings and all that. I guess it's kind of an inevitable thing. It's something that video games do in general. Anyways, I kind of ran out of room to talk, or I don't have enough to talk about. But I'm losing my voice anyways. Yeah, I guess that's it. And I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. You might see this after Thanksgiving, but happy late Thanksgiving. That's alright, I guess. So, Yep, bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Here